traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples. Thank you so much for abiding by our social distancing protocols and our COVID protocols. It's really wonderful, and it makes it so that we can continue to do this. Please enjoy the show. If you can put your phones on airplane mode, that would be really helpful. Have a wonderful time.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
Hail Mary,
blessed art thou among women, blessed
Hail
is
Mary,
thou
full
among
of
women,
grace,
blessed is thee, blessed art thou among women,
sinners,
blessed
now
is
and
the
at the hour of our death.
Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Amo, amas, amat, amamus, amatus, amat.
Amo, amas,
Amo,
amat,
amas,
amatus,
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 amatus, amatus, amatus,
amatus, amat.
Amo, amas, amat, amamus, amatus, amat. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the remaining sides.
The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the
sum
sum of the
remaining sides.
The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the remaining sides. Thou shalt not
Lie.
steal, cheat, kill.
Thou shalt not
Lie.
Steal, cheat, kill.
Thou shalt not
Lie.
Steal, cheat, kill.
lust.
Let us particularly note the difference in character between the two sexes, a difference so great that one might suppose them members of two different races.
It is a woman's responsibility to maintain the comfort and decency of her family. It is she who makes etiquette, and she who preserves the order and the decency of society. Without women, men soon resume the savage state, and the comforts of the home are exchanged for the misery of the mining camp.
A sensible wife will strive to render her home as attractive as possible, for the power of association is very great, and air, light, and elegance are quite important in their effects.
A pleasant, cheerful wife is as a rainbow, set in the sky when her husband's mind is beset with storms and tempests. But a dissatisfied and fretful wife in the hour of trouble is like one of those fiends who are appointed to torture the lost spirits. Amen.
I dreamt a dream tonight. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife.
I strike quickly, being moved.
To move is to stir, And to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runst away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maids to the wall.
I will show myself a tyrant, and when I have fought with the men, I will be civil with the maids and cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in what sense they feel it.
Me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
Draw thy tool. Here comes of the house of the Montagues.
Quarrel, I will back thee.
A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife.
Part fools, put up your swords. You know not what you do.
What art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword or manage it to part these men with me.
What draw and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward.
Go, Timon!
The Capulets!
Enter the prince. Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor, stained steel.
Neighbor, stained steel.
Will they not hear? What ho, you men, you beasts!
That quench the fire of your pernicious rage.
With purple fountains issuing from your veins.
On pain of torture from those bloody hands.
Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground.
And hear the sentence of your moved prince.
3 civil brawls bred of an airy word.
By the old Capulet and Montague.
Have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets.
If ever you disturb our streets again,
Your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace.
Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Act 1, Scene 2. Enter Benvolio and Lady Montague.
Where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east. So early walking did I see your son.
Love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs, being purged of fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed, a sea, nourished with loving tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet.
Many a morning hath he there been seen with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew.
My noble aunt, do you know the cause?
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
All right, good markman, and she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair cause is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow, she hath Diane's wit, and in strong proof of chastity, well armed from love's weak childish bow, she lives uncharmed.
And she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Oh, be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite, in question more.
This night, at the ancient feast of Capulets, sups the fair Rosaline whom thou so loves with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattained eye compare her face with some that I shall show, and I shall make thee think thy swan a crow.
One fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Tut, you saw her fair, none else being by. Herself, poised with herself, in either eye. But in the crystal scales let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid.
I'll go along. No such sight will be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
End of scene. The house of the Capulets.
The house of the Capulets.
Welcome, gentlemen!
Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will walk about with you.
My mistresses, which of you all will now deny to dance?
She that makes dainty, she, I'll swear, hath corn.
Am I come near ye now?
Welcome,
gentlemen!
I have seen the day that I have worn a visor, and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please.
'Tis gone.
'Tis gone.
'Tis gone!
You are welcome, gentlemen.
Come, musicians, play!
I am not for this ambling. Give me a torch. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you
Not
down!
I, believe me. You, Mercutio, have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground. I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above the common bound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers and so bound. I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love! Prick love for the pricking, and you beat love down. Come, we burn daylight, hope.
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay. We waste our lights in vain, like lights by day.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no which to go.
I may want to ask.
I dreamt a dream tonight.
So did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn by a team of little atomies o'er men's noses as they lie asleep. Her chariot is of an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub. Time out of mind, the fairy's coach makers. Her wagon spokes of long spinner's legs, her cover made of a grasshopper's wings, her traces of the smallest spider's webs, her collars of moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her Wagner, a small gray-coated gnat, not half so big as a round little worm plucked from the lazy fingers of a maid. In this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Or ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues, because their breath with sweet meats tainted are. And sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, breeches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of health's 5 fathom deep. And then anon drums in his ears, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two and sleeps again. This is that very Mab that plaits the manes of horses in the night and bakes elf locks in foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled, much misfortune bodes. This is the hag that when maids lie on their backs, presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace! Peace, Mercutio, peace, thou talk'st of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin a substance as the air and more inconstant than the wind.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence. Yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date, with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed within my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Strike drum!
A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife.
Juliet's bedchamber.
Enter Lady Capulet.
Enter nurse.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now by my maiden head at 12 years old I bade her come.
Juliet!
What lamb, what ladybird?
Juliet!
God forbid, where's this girl?
Juliet!
What Juliet?
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give us leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou'st hear our counsel. Thou know'st my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth. She's not 14. How long is it now till Lammastide?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd. Of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God now. She was too good for me. But, as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she. Mary, yes. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now, and 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Nay, I do bear a brain, for since that time it isn't 11 years. For then she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before she broke her brow, my husband, God be with his soul, I was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dam, the pretty wretch left crying and said,
Now, Juliet.
To see now how a jest shall come about, I warrant and should live 1,000 years. I never will forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel? Quoth he. It stinted and said I.
Enough of this, I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, madam.
Now.
Yet I cannot choose but laugh to think it should leave crying and say I. And yet I warrant it had upon its head a bump as big as a young cockerel stone, a perilous knock, and it cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou comest to age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? Instant, said I.
Stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse.
Say I. Peace. Peace, I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. I may live to see thee, Mary, once I have my wish.
Mary, that Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an hour I dream not of.
An hour, were I not thine only nurse, I would say thou hast sucked wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, women of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother, much upon these years that you are yet a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
He's a man, young lady, such a man as all the world. He's a man of wax.
Verona summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? Behold, tonight, home at our feast, read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ with beauty's pen. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. Speak briefly, can you like of Paris' love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam! The guests are come, supper served up, you called. My young lady asked for, the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity.
We'll follow thee. Juliet, thy county stays.
Go, girl, seek happy nights to happy days. The ball.
The ball.
Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not.
Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
Enter Tybalt. What dares the slave? Come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity. This by his voice should be a Montague. Now by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead I hold it not a sin. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands, that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus, from my lips by thine, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips? Oh, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Madam! Thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not.
Enter nurse. Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house. And a good lady, and a wise, and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked with all. I tell you, sir, he that can lay hold of her should have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Nurse, come hither.
Mercutio.
What's he that follows here that would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask his name.
Romeo!
If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo.
Romeo!
And a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme. I learned even now of one I danced withal.
Anon, anon, come, let's away, the strangers are all gone. Act 2, Scene 1, Benvolio and Mercutio search for Romeo.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
He is wise, and on my life hath stolen him to bed.
He ran this way and leapt this orchard wall. Romeo! Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Humors, madmen's passion. Lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry me, but me pronounce but love and dove. He heareth not. He stirreth not, he moveth not. The ape is dead.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Come, good night, good Romeo. Thou go sleep in my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft. What, light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick, and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. Oh, it is my lady. It is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars. As daylight doth a lamp, her eye in heaven would through the airy regions stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand? Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head as is a winged messenger of heaven unto the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy puffing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more? Shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face. Oh, be some other name belonging to a man. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes. Without that title, Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art. If any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do that dares love attempt? Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes, and but thou love me, let them find me here.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Dost thou love? I know thou wilt say aye, and I'll take thy word. But if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkst I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I vow that tips with silver all these fruit treetops.
Swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon.
Oh, what shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
My heart's dear
Well,
love.
do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Now good night, good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine?
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. I hear some noise within, dear love. Adieu. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little. I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I am afeard that being in night all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee where and what time thou wilt perform the rite. And all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. Madam! I come anon, but if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by I come, to cease thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes toward love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love toward school with heavy looks.
Romeo!
My love.
What? I have forgot why I didst call thee back.
Oh, let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stand here, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. Now good night, good night.
Oh, parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes. peace in thy breast.
Would I were sleep and peace, so sweet to rest. The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. Hence will I to my ghostly friar cell his help to crave and my dear have to tell.
Friar Lawrence's cell.
Now ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite. What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head to so early bid good morrow to thy bed. Then thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused with some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last is true, the sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin, wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline? My ghostly friar, no, I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy.
Be plain, good son. Rest homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know, my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet, as mine on hers, so hers is set to mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed, and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis! What a change is here! Is Rosalind that thou didst love so dear so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Lo, here upon thy cheek a stain doth sit of a tear that is not washed off yet. And are you so changed? Pronounce this sentence, then women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me oft for loving Rosaline,
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
and badst me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide me not. Her I love now, doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well. Thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me. In this respect I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn thy household's rancor to pure love.
A street in Verona.
Enter Benvolio and Mercutio.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will surely run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, Romeo will answer the letter's master how he dares, being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo! He is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, run through the ear with a love song, the pin of his heart, cleft with the blind bow boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
Why, more than the king of cats. Oh, he's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion, rests his minim rests 1, 2, and the third in your bosom, the very butcher of a silk button, a duelist of the first and second house. Oh, the immortal Passado, the punto reverso, the
Enter Romeo!
Without his robe like a dried herring.
Oh, flesh, how art thou fishified? Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation for your French slop. Oh, thou gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir. The slip, can you not conceive?
Pardon, Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That is as much to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hand.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
One day I'm the very pink of course.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint. Is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo. Now art thou as thou art in art as well as nature, for this driveling love.
Now here's a goodly gear. A sail, a sail.
Oh.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good even, gentlewoman.
Is it good even?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what a man are you?
One gentlewoman that God hath made himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said, for himself to mar, quoth he. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find a young Romeo?
I am the youngest of that name for fault of a worse.
Well, if you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Abod, Soho.
What hast thou found?
Not a hair, sir. Unless a hair, sir, in a Lenten pie, that is something stale and hoar ere it be spent. Romeo, wheel to your father's, will you to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady. Lady.
Pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his roguery?
A gentleman, nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand 2 in month.
And he speak anything against me? I'll take him down, and he were lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks! And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. Scurvy knave! Now, afore God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave! Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say, I'll keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if ye should lead her in a fool's paradise, as they say, it were very gross kind of behavior, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young. Therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress, I protest unto thee.
Good heart and faith, I will tell her as much, Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me?
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall, at Friar Lawrence' cell, be shrived and married.
This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there. Now God in heaven bless thee.
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times.
Act 2, Scene 5.
Juliet's bedchamber.
Juliet waits. Tick tock, tick.
1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10.
11.
12.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glides than the sun's beams. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she has not come. Had she affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Thou good, sweet nurse. Oh Lord, why lookest thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell me merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had.
I would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste. Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Answer to me that. Say either, and I'll stay. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, no, not he, though his face be better than any man's, yet his legs excels all man's. And for a hand, and a foot, and a body. Though they be not to be talked on, yet they are all past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What have you dined?
No, but all this I knew before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Fie, how my head aches. It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. My back! Other side! My back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Be faith, I am sorry that thou art not well, but sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Oh, here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence' cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now up comes the wanton blood within your cheeks. You shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, all to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
End of scene.
Act 2, Scene 6.
Friar Lawrence cell. The wedding.
The wedding.
Romeo waits.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hour with sorrow chide us not.
Amen. Amen. But come, what sorrow can it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight.
Juliet enters.
These violent delights have violent ends, which in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss, consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in his taste confounds the appetite. Therefore love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine.
My true love is grown to such excess.
Come with me, and we'll make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate 2 in 1.
A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. Amo, amas, amat, amamus, amatus, amant.
The business of a man is to govern the world, and the destiny of a woman is to charm and influence it.
Without women, men soon resume the savage state.
Let us particularly note the difference in character between the two sexes. A difference so great that one might suppose them members of 2 different races.
Thou shalt not lie, steal, cheat, kill,
Lust! Thou shalt not.
A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife. Act 3, Scene 1.
Benvolio and Mercutio in Verona.
I pray thee, Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot. The Capulets are abroad, and if we meet them, we shall not scape a brawl. For now these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of these fellows, who upon entering the confines of a tavern claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup draws upon the drawer when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Thou art as hot a jack as any in thy mood as any in Italy. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street because he hath wakened thy dog that hath lain asleep in the sun.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel I care not.
Gentlemen, good den, a word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us. Couple it with something, make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Canst thou not take occasion without my giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consort? What, dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us look to hear nothing but discord.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place, or reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze, I'll not budge for no man's pleasure eye. Here's my fiddlestick, here's that which shall make you dance. Come, consort.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
Yet I'll be hanged if he were your livery.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this: thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell. I see thou know'st me not.
Boy! This shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me, therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, come, dishonorable, vile submission. Aristocrata carries it away. Tybalt! You rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Why, good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives, which I mean to make bold withal. What, will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, else mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your passado.
Draw, Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame forbear this outrage. The prince expressly hath forbidden his bandying in Verona streets. Hold! Tybalt! Good Mercutio!
I am hurt. A plague on both your houses, I am sped.
What art thou hurt?
A scratch. Mary, 'tis enough. Go fetch a surgeon.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
Nay, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door. Mary, 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. A plague on both your houses! What? A dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death, a rogue, a braggart, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me to some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses! They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too your houses.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woes others must end. Away to heaven respected lenity, and fire and fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again that latest thou gavest me, for Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy that did consort him here shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Away! Be gone! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed. The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken hence. Be gone, away!
Oh, I'm fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Enter the prince. Where are the vile beginners
of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all, the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin. Oh, my brother's child. Oh, prince. Oh, cousin. The blood hath been shed of my dear kinsman, prince, as thou art true for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false, he'll speak not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him?
He slew Mercutio.
Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo's, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes, but what the law should end the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately do we exile him hence. I have an interest in your heart's proceedings. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found,
that hour is his last.
Romeo!
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 Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, toward Phoebus' lodging. Such a Wagner as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaways' eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites, and by their own beauties, or if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Come, knight, come, Romeo, come thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle knight, come, loving black-browed knight, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he shall make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I've bought the mansion of a love but not possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes but may not wear them. Oh, here comes my nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oellidae. He's dead. He's dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. Alack the day. He's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo. Romeo, who could have thought it? Romeo!
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, or if not, no.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. Here on his manly breast, a piteous course, a bloody piteous course.
Oh, break my heart. Poor bankrupt, break it once.
Oh, Tybalt. Tybalt, the best friend I ever had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman. That ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows thee so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered, and Tybalt dead? My dearest cousin and my dearer lord.
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh, God! Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. It did. Alack the day it did.
Was ever book containing such vile matters so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men, all perjured, all forsworn, all naught. Shame come to Romeo!
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish! Romeo was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That one word banished hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Romeo's death was woe enough if it had ended there. Romeo is banished. To speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure, bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound.
Hie to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment. Be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Here from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls.
This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives.
Fond madman, hear me speak.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of
I'll
banishment.
give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity, sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Yet banished, hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet. Displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not, talk no more.
Why, then I see that madmen hath no ears.
How should they when wise men have no eyes?
Let me despair with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as Juliet, my love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me and like me banished, then mightst thou speak. Then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
One knocks. Arise, Romeo. Hark how they knock. Who's there? Arise, thou shalt be taken. Stay a while. Run to my study. By and by. God's will, I come. I come. What simpleness is this? Who's there? What's your business?
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Oh, holy friar, tell me, holy friar, where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
Speak'st thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Doth not she think me an old murderer? Where is she, and how doth she, and what says my concealed lady to her cancelled love?
She says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and on Romeo cries, and down falls again.
As if that name shot from a dead level of a gun did murder her. As that name's cursed hand did murder her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge. Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. Thou hast amazed me by my holy order. I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt, and wilt thou slay thyself? And slay thy lady who in thy life lies by doing damned hate upon thyself? What? Rouse thee, man! Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatened death became thy friend and turned it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a misshapen and sullen wench, thou poutest at thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love as was decreed. Ascend her chamber, hence, and comfort her, but look thou stay not till the watch be set, else thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of your prince, and call thee back again with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentations. go before, nurse. Commend me to thy lady. Bid her hasten all the house to bed, as heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late.
It is late, get gone, good night. And here stands your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or else by break of day disguised from hence. Sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap to you that chances here. Give me your hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
A joy past joy calls out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, and with their death bury their parents' strife.
Oh, will thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
Was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. I must be gone and live or stay and die.
Oh, yond light is not daylight. I know it, I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee this night a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet. Thou needst not to be gone.
Let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. I am content so thou wilt have it so. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so.
Madam! Nurse!
Your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Beware ye look about.
And window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell, one kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, Lord, thy husband, friend, I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh, Fortune, Fortune, all men call thee fickle. Be fickle, Fortune, for then I hopes thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
How now, daughter, are you up?
Who is that calls?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. Well, girl, thou weeps not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him. I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
It is because the traitor lives.
Aye, madam. From the reach of these my hands would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance. Fear thou not. Then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished runagate doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company, and that I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him. Dead is my poor heart, so for a kinsman vexed. Madam, if you could find but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that hath slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I'll find the man. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child, who to put thee from thy heaviness hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectst not, nor look not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is this?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn. The valiant, young, and noble County Paris, at St. Peter's Church shall happily make thee a joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste, that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself. Hang thee, young baggage!
Disobedient wretch!
I tell thee what.
Get thee to church a Thursday!
Get thee to church a Thursday!
Or ne'er again look me in the face, speak not.
Reply not.
Do not answer me.
My fingers
My
itch.
fingers
My
itch.
fingers itch.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day,
Night.
Work
play,
Alone.
in company.
still my care hath been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage,
A fair demeans.
Youthful and nobly allied.
stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts,
Proportioned as one's thought would wish a man's.
And then to have.
And then to have.
and then to have, I'll not wed.
I cannot love.
I am too young, I pray you pardon me, but and you'll
But
not
and
But
wed.
if you'll not wed,
I'll
I'll pardon you. Graze where you will.
You shall not house with me.
Look to it.
Think on.
I do not use to jest.
Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart.
Advise,
And you be
mine.
And you be
I'll
mine.
give you to my friend.
And you be not. Hang.
Beg.
Starve.
Die in the streets. For by my soul I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, I have done with thee.
Oh, God. Oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? Comfort me, counsel me. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. And since the case so stands as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishclout to him, an eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match. For it excels your first, or, if it did not, your first is dead. Or 'twere as good he was, as living here, and you no use of him.
Speakest thou from the heart?
And from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will, and this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue that she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. All to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have power to die.
Juliet, I already know thy grief. It streams past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, this Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's, thou our hands. Give me some present counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes and me this bloody knife. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. If what thou speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope that craves as desperate execution as that is desperate which we would prevent. If rather than to marry County Paris thou hast the strength of will to stay thyself, Is it not likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death, to chide thee of this shame? If thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Or bid me go into a new-made grave, and hide me with a dead man in his grave, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Stay then. Go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry County Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow look thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilling liquor drink thou off. Presently through your veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, that no warmth, nor breath, nor pulse shall testify thou livest. In this borrowed likeness of a shrunk death thou shalt remain for 42 hours, and then awake, as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. As is the manner of this country, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come. And that same very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua, and this shall free thee of thy present shame, if no inconstant toy nor womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it.
Give me. Tell me not of fear.
Go hence. Be strong and prosperous. In this resolve I'll send a friar to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, Friar Lawrence.
How now, my
How
head?
now,
How
my
now,
head
my head
strong?
strong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learnt me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here, to beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the
Send
county.
for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
Go, nurse.
Go, nurse.
Go with her.
Go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
Aye, madam, those attires are best. But, gentle nurse, I pray you leave me to myself tonight.
How now, daughter? Need you my help?
No, madam. We have called such necessities as are behooveful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you. For I'm sure you have your hands full all with this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest. Thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear. Thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of fire. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse. What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I then be married tomorrow morning? No, this shall prevent it. What if it be a poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? How, if when I am laid into the tomb I wake before the time that Romeo come? Shall I not then be stifled in the vault? Or if I live, is it not like that I will walk? And shall I not be distraught, and madly play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud? And in this rage, with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look! Methinks I see my cousin's ghost, seeking out Romeo that did spit his body upon my rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt! Stay! Romeo!
Romeo! Romeo, here's drink. I drink to thee.
Good faith, 'tis day! Mistress! What mistress? Juliet, fast asleep. I warned her she. Why, lamb? Why, lady? Why, you slug a bed? Why, love, I say? Madam, sweetheart. Why, bride? Why not a word? Alas. Alas. Help. 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 Help! My lady's dead!
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable day.
What's the matter?
Look! Look. Oh, heavy day. She's dead. Deceased. She's dead. Oh, heavy day.
Death that hath ta'en her hence to make me wail ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar, dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my lady Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels live. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill newses, since you did leave it to my office, sir.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars! Thou know'st my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good sir.
Friar John, welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be rich, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order, to associate me here in this city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that there my speed to Mantua was stayed.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it, nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune! This letter was not nice, but full of charge. The neglecting it may do much danger.
Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary.
Put this in any liquid thing you will and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
Come cordial, and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee, whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. But if thou jealous dost return to Brighton, what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow.
For all this same, I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Forgive me, cousin. Death, lie thou there by a dead man interred. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife. Death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Oh, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous? And that the lean, abhorrent monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath. Seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run on the dashing rocks, thy seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die.
St. Francis be my speed. How oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves. Who's there?
Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what yon torch so vainly lends its light to grubs and eyeless skulls, as I discern it burneth in the capel's monument.
It doth so, holy sir. There's my master, and one you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long hath he been there?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir. My master knows not, but I am gone hence, and fearfully did menace me with death if I stayed to look on his intents.
Stay then, I'll go alone. Fears come upon me. Oh, I do fear some ill, unlucky thing. Romeo, Romeo, oh, pale. What unhappy hour is guilty of this lamentable chance? The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar. Where is my love? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear a noise, lady. Come, away from this nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A force greater than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead. I'll dispose of thee to a holy sisterhood of nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay. I dare no longer stay. I dare no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison I see hath been his timeless end. O churl, drink all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang upon them to let me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm. Yea, noise. Then I'll be brief. O happy dagger, this is thy sheath. There rust.
this is the place there where the torch doth burn.
Now ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry.
Amo, amas,
Blooming
The
peace
business of
this
a man is to
morning
govern
with
the
rain.
realm.
Shout
The
not
destiny
I.
of a woman is to
blooming
cheer
peace
men in
this morning
The
with
business
rain.
of a man
Amos.
is to govern the
A
world.
blooming
The
peace
destiny
this
of a
morning
woman
with
is to harm and
rain.
to
amat,
The business of a
Amo,
man is to govern the
amas,
world.
A
The
blooming
destiny of a
peace
woman.
this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Amo, amas, amat, amamus, amatus, amant.
I dreamt a dream tonight. I dreamt
I dreamt. I dreamt.
I dreamt.